welcome back to another coding ASMR video. Today is Halloween, so I'll be coding a trick-or-treating simulator game on console in Java. So let's get started. So I have a class for trick-or-treating. This will be the main class where I will run the program. This class is a house where its role is to create a house, a functioning house object as you go trick-or-treating. And I have a class called Candy, in which I will create candies. So let's begin, shall we? Alright, so before we trick-or-treat, I'm going to make candy objects, a class for candies. So let's make some candies. Well, a factory for candies. Well, for a class. So let's begin this one. So for candy, all I'm going to do is create a field. So private string. Just put type, because it may be a flavor, it may be something else like sugary or something. Honestly, I do not really like candies, so I used to go to trick-or-treating back in the days, but now I'm not really into it. I just play some scary games here and there, so. And just do a simple constructor, public candy, and I think that's it. Yeah, public candy, that's the constructor. And it's going to set a random flavor, so I'll have to import random. Oops. Nope. That's what I do not do. Random. Because what I want to do is set a random flavor or type. So I'm going to do a string array type. Candy type. It's pretty generic, so just define an array. So what flavor should I put for the candy? What are all the possible flavors? So maybe I'll do chocolate. Let's do sour candy. Sour candy. Or something. What else should I put? Maybe cinnamon? I'm not sure how you spell cinnamon, or I'll just say something. Not cinnamon, let's just do licorice. Let's do licorice sticks. What else? I'll do what's that? What's a candy? What's a candy that kind of twists and turns? Like, you know, like those little fluffy stuff that you take from like a tube and you eat it and it kind of dissolves. I forgot the name. Cotton candy. That's what I'm looking for. So these are all the possible stuff. Maybe I should add some more. Maybe add some orange. No. Yeah, orange. Maybe orange flavored. And what else? Oh yeah, dots. I used to eat those things. That was one of my only favorite candies. So yeah, let's find these. These are a pretty cool, good list for now. So, and I'm just gonna put this dot type. Oh yeah, I also create a random RNG for random number generator. I like to create that as a name. New random. This dot type equals candy type and dot next it So yeah, this constructor basically sets the type of candy to one of these types. So basically this, you set the type of the candy, this type equals candy type. It refers to the candy type array, and you get the random variable, the next int that generates a random number between 0 and the length of the array, not inclusive. So from 0 to, let's say, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because the length is 6, the length of the array is 6, and this one generates from 0 to 5. So 0 to 6, not inclusive. So yeah, I'm going to test my program now. Oh yeah, and also I'm just going to allow us to print the object by overriding the toString method, which is, this is a let's print this type. Yeah, let's try that for now. Let's do some Let's test. Round 1 for testing. Testing round 1. So I'm just going to create some candy objects to verify that the candies are working, are functioning, are intact. We do not want candies that are not functioning or not edible or whatever you call before we even make these candies for trick-or-treating. Let's test something out. Let's actually write a loop. Let's do like a for loop. So we create multiple candies. So we just do candy.test and we print them. So yeah, let's run it. Yeah, so we're getting a few. We got some sour candies, we got some orange. Is it orange? Is it dots? We got some different candies out there, so yeah. So let's do it. Let's do like 25 candies so we make sure we get all of them, all of the types. Yeah, pretty much. We got orange, dots, chocolate, cotton candy, sour candy, licorice sticks. So we got like all of the 6 types. So that means our program works, our candy class works so far. So that's the first objective. Yeah. So we've got our candy class ready. We made some candies and it works. So now that's done. Now what I'm going to do is to define the house class, where I will be able to create houses where trick-or-treaters can access or interact with. So what will the house have? Let's see. Oh yeah, candy, an array of candies. Candy bowl equals new candy. Yeah, we're not gonna define that now. So private candy bowl. So the house would contain an array of candy, which is the bowl of candies. Assuming that the homeowner of the house would give like all of the candies. So let's say that you're the only one trick-or-treating, and let's not take into account all of the other ones. So like you are trick-or-treating and you open the door and they give you candy. Let's assume they give all of the candies. So yeah. And And we'll also have a random. We want to take randomization into account, so let's do a random class. Import java.util .random, and we're gonna do private is trigger is, let's do is responsive. Let's say like you go trick-or-treating and the homeowner doesn't respond. So like if you knock the door, no one responds. So let's take it into account, because not all trick-or-treaters, not all houses respond. So it's a boolean. Let's see what field should I add. I'm gonna keep these fields for now in case I might change something. So let's define our constructor. To construct our house, not necessarily building a house, but building a house for trick-or-treating. So public house candy, yeah, it's a constructor, and it will not take any input, so let's do that. So what else? What should I put? I'm gonna instantiate a random object, RNG, to create random numbers, new random. So I could access the methods for random to generate random numbers. So for the constructor, I'll have to define the candy bowl. How many candies will the homeowner give? Let's say a random number between 1 to 10 candies if we're lucky. So let's do this. Let's do this dot candy bowl equals new candy array, because yeah, it's like the list, it's like an array of candies, and you want to define the length. And like I said, the length of the candy is like how many candies the homeowner decides to give, or has in this case. So rng.next int, it's going to be 0 to 10, non-inclusive, so add 1. So it will generate a number from 1 to 10. And I'm going to do a for loop to fill the candies, to fill that array with candies. And like I said, for the candy class, all of these, the candies are randomized. So since all of the candy bowls, the candies in the bowl are randomized, unless unless one homeowner decides to create one candy of one type, to only put one type of candy, which is pretty unlikely. So let's leave it to randomized. So I'm going to loop until from I0 up to I, as long as I is less than length. This, no, we do not want that. This dot candy bowl dot length, and loop that. We create a new candy in each slot. Every time, each iteration, you create a new candy. And let's do a boolean value. A boolean, no. Let's generate a random number between 1 and 2. So let's do public, no, int let's do dice tail coin flip. We want to do a coin flip beat. So, oh yeah, we want, now let's not do 50-50 chance. We want to make like a pretty decent chance, but not 50-50. You want like, for let's say 40% of the houses to be non-responsive. So like 4 out of 10 houses. So int responsive ratio or something, or rate. It's not a rate value, but it's like a number. Equals rng.next int +1. So like this one would be from 1 to 10, and we're just gonna do, I meant a typo here, but what I'm trying to do is to check if responsive rate is between 0 and is between 1 and 4. So like from number, if this is generated 4, so it will not be responsive. So check if it's less than 5 is responsive, is false. This dot is responsive. Equals false. No, is true. And let's do it for the opposite. Let's actually check the opposite case, because we don't want to put an else block here, because this one will, I think it will automatically, the default initialization of the boolean is false. So let's try to test it. Greater or equal to 4 to 5, I mean, and which will be true. And yeah, so I'm gonna, before I decide to create many houses, I'm gonna kind of test it out. So I'm gonna let's allow it to print the object. So I'm gonna override the string method, so we could print the object to string, and I'm just going to return this house will give, and we know that candies work, so we want to just see if, to check how many candies this house gives, because we know that the candies will have a length. The candy bowl has a length, so we just want to print that out, equaling how many candies that the homeowner decides to give for trick-or-treaters. Oh yeah, if I put an if condition, because if the house is not responsive, that means the house will not give candies, so it kind of makes sense. If not, this house will not respond. So yeah, doesn't matter all of the flavors of the candies. I just want to check how many candies this house gives, if it's responsive. So let's do another test to make sure that the houses are functioning well. The houses are giving candy or something. So let's try another loop. Let's try to create, like, let's say 10 houses. It's a new house. No constructor. No input for the constructor because it's randomized. And I'll print it. It's this out. Print line test house. So yeah, let's do it. Let's see the magic. Okay, so I've created some houses. Like the first 3 do not respond. And this house will give candies. So let's begin. We got our house. We got our houses pretty much working, and the candies working. Got these classes defined. Now what I'll do is I will create the trick-or-treating application. So here's the fun. Here the fun. Now the fun begins. So yeah, let's do it. So print line. I'm gonna set a welcome message. Let's go trick-or-treating. Yay, let's go out to Halloween for trick-or-treating. But this does not involve real candies, so I can't give you real candies, sadly. So let's define an ArrayList of candy. This will signify, this will be our bag of candies that will slowly fill up. So yeah, let's do list candy, and we have to import it. So we have to import it. So this is the bag of candies you will carry during trick-or-treating. And yeah, let's go trick-or-treating. So now what we'll do is we will do let's do a loop, a while loop. So boolean done tricking equals false. So this is a boolean that asks that if you're done trick-or-treating or not. So while done tricking, check if it's not true. If it's false, then yeah, let's do this. Let's do another print statement. You find a house, market, and I'll have to do a scanner here. So I'm gonna make the program allow for user input. So I'm gonna do a scanner here, define it here. So it's already imported. And the options, I'll do int one, an integer between 0, 1 equals equals knock yes, or 2 equals no. Alright, so I'm gonna do an if statement. And if here, if, oh yeah, and let's do them int choice. to actually store in a variable equals end next. Why I didn't put it, I put it in caps. I don't know why. Probably forgot. And I'll do int.next. Next int to get the next integer from the user. And I'll do if number choice equals 1, because we check exactly if it's equal to 1, or else you'll pass. So I will do what should I do? I'll have a method. I'll get a method to knock at the door. So yeah. It will knock at the door. And else, if the user decides to pass, then I will print out something. You decide to pass this house. So what I'll do is create another method here inside of the main. This method will knock at a house. So I'm going to do a public method, and the return type will be I think it'll be candy, because we want the houses to give candies. So public candy fill bag equals, oh yeah, maybe I'll add a method that gives the candy. So I'm gonna add a method here that returns an array of candy. So public candy, give candy, keep candies, and I will return this dot candy bowl. So basically this particular house gives the candies to the trick-or-treater. So yeah, so as long as you're not done trick-or-treating, you'll write a method that you will knock at the door. So let's do it again. Public static void. I don't think we're returning anything. Knock house. And it's going to take an input a house. Not house. So first of all, I'm going to check if the house even responds. So it's going to check this variable. So I'm going to do an if statement, if knocked house dot, and our get method. We have to do a get method here. So we're going to add a getter here, a get method for that is responsive. So I'm going to do this. This is the getter. I'm going to put it here because I usually put my getters and setters right after the constructor. So get is responsive. Yeah, is responsive. Check that. Then I will fill the candy. So Oh yeah, I'm going to return an array. I think so. Or I think you could pass the candy bag as an input because this one will fill up. It's a reference. So list candy bag. That's the second input. So I'm going to return. I'm going to try to get the candies from the house. So if it's responsive, then the door will open and the homeowner will give candies. So giving candies equals nocthouse.give candies. So once the house gives the candies, then we will have to fill this list with candies. So what I'll do is I'm going to create a for loop for candy given candies. It's for each loop. I am going to oh yeah, candy. I'm going to get all of the pieces, all of the candies in the candies array that are given by the house and fill it in a list. So bag dot add candy. So this array list has a method called add, which adds to the array list. So that's it. And what else should I do? I should print something. We should print a message. So sysout print one. The house door creaks and opens. The homeowner, dressed up, has given you some candies. Yay. And so that's when the house is responsive, or else if not, then print out something. This house does not respond. Okay, so I think that should be okay. What did I do? I think I messed something up with my getter. For the house, it's outside. So, yeah. I am pretty clueless. I am kind of confused why. I have a method here. I'm trying to use this get method. Yeah, this returns a candy array. Return this.candy bowl. Oh yeah, I didn't save my class. Always these stupid little things. Okay, so if it's the choice, I'm gonna create a house at the beginning. This house, new house. Like the new house, the player or trick-or-treater passes, and I'm gonna do a new house. And so if it's 1, then I'm going to pass it. I'm going to call the knock house method and it's going to pass in new house and the list array of candy bag. And yeah, so let's try something out. And if you're done, oh yeah, let's do something else. Let's check if the player decides to continue trick-or-treating or not, because we want the loop to end some day. So I'm going to print out something else which will done trick-or-treating. And I should have put other. So one means yes, other is no, and I'm going to do if it's just get another variable. If number choice, same thing. If it's 1, then we'll set done tricking to true. And that's it. So, and at the end, I'll try to print out the candy. Candy int I equals, let's do a loop until from 0 to candy bag, which is an array list of candy, that's size. And I'm going to do print out the candy, each of the candies in the list. So I'll do print line candy bag dot get I. So that's a method to get the particular item in the array list. So let's try that. Let's try to run this program. That's where the fun begins. So let's go trick-or-treating. So yeah, let's go trick-or-treating. You find a house, knock it. I'll do 1. No, let's start. I don't like this house, so let's do pass it. Yeah, you decided to pass this house. So I'm done. I'm not done. So 34, you find a house, knock it. I'll do yes for 1. This house doesn't respond. I'm not having a good day so far. It's raining outside, by the way. And I'm not done yet because I need some candy. So you find a house, I'll knock it. Oh my gosh, I am pretty unlucky now. I got 2 houses that does not respond. I really need my candy. So, other one, no. I find a house. I'm gonna knock this one. The house door creaks and opens. I should have put a D, but I made a typo, so let's assume that I spelled it correctly. This house door creaks and opens. The homeowner dressed up gas and giving you some candies. I should have. Man, my spelling is really crappy, so usually I kind of test it out in a real program, but since I want to show it to you pretty quick, then yeah, I'm not done. Let's try to ask another house. So I find a house, I knock it, and it creaks and opens, and I got some more candies. So let's try finishing it up. So I'm done, and I got all of the candies so far. So it seems to be working. So I want to do one more thing. I want to make a message at the end saying that I'm going to check. Let's make it more interactive. Let's do an if statement. Check the bag. You want to make this, let's determine whether the bag is really full or full or too little or something. If candy bag dot size is less than 10, or let's start equals 0. And I'll juice this out. No candy. Bad Halloween. So, in the case where there's no candy, else if candy size is if it's less than, let's say, 40, I'm gonna do your bag is not that heavy / full, and else your bag is full of candy. And yeah, let's add another else if, because our bag will be really full at the end. So we can't go trick-or-treating all the time. So and I'll do an if here. So the trick-or-treating ends in 2 scenarios. One, when the user decides to finish trick-or-treating, or if the candy bag that size is greater than, let's say, 40. Let's in fact put it here. Or candy get size equals 40. So either that, the choice is 1, or that, or the size is 40. So yeah, let's try that. So let's try to run this program again. In this case, I go trick-or-treating, so I go outside and I decide and I change my mind. So I decide not to go trick-or-treating this Halloween, especially on 2020. Oh, why? I put words. Okay, so find a house, number, no. None of these houses go. I decide to not trick-or-treat, so oh wait. I think I made a bug here. I put done and I gave a number that's outside and I want to stop. So let's check if it's not equal to 1. If it's not equal to 1, or candy bag dot size is greater than 40, I should set it to false or to true. So no. Okay, no candy. Bad Halloween. Let's try it again, but I go to one house and fill the candy once. So I find a house. No. No. Yeah, bad Halloween. Oh yeah, I meant to do it equal 1, but 1 being done, I just switched options. So I want 1 to be done. I don't want to do anything. Yeah. So I check it again for no candies. Let's do it for a few candies, and then I'll be done. So I'll do a trick-or-treating run. I'll do one house, creaks and opens, and I got some candies, so I'm not gonna go trick-or-treating anymore. So I am done. So your bag is not that heavy and full. I got 2 candies and I got oranges only. So let's try to go on a full run of trick-or-treating. I'm going to run this entire program again. So trick-or-treating, let's do 1. Doesn't respond. I'm not done. Find a house. Yes. Creaks and opens. let's keep trick-or-treating. Let's keep trick-or-treating, getting some candies. No. No. More candies. No. It doesn't respond. Find a house. Creaks. No. Yes. No. Doesn't respond. This one gives candy. This one gives candy. I'm not done. Doesn't give candy. Gives you candies. And yeah. After all, I got trick-or-treating. I went trick-or-treating and my bag is now full of candy. And now I am done. I should have printed something that your candy's full, you should go home. And now I've got all of these candies from my bag, and it's a list of candies, so it's going to take a lot of time to eat all of this and get fat. And this would be, I think I was gonna wear a wig costume, but not this Halloween. It's pretty sad. My Halloween is on a weekend, and if it would be on a school day, then I would wear this. Darn. Alright, so this is my program. I hope you had a nice Halloween, and yeah, stay tuned for the next ASMR coding video, and peace out.